Hey now! What is up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and I finally watched. I know I'm a little late to the party, but I finally watched Coming to America Part 2. I don't know why they didn't just call this Going Back to America or Coming Back to America, but they just called it Coming to America with the number 2. This is a 2021 film that was directed by Craig Brewer, and the plot. The plot is we see Eddie Murphy once again as Prince Akeem. In fact, he's gearing up to become the king of Zamunda, whatever the hell this country is called. It's not Wakanda, but in doing so, the way that the laws are set there is that he has to set up his next heir to the throne, and it can't be one of his daughters because of the law, and so either he has to have them marry one of the sons of the other king, or he finds out that he has an illegitimate son back in America, in New York, because of the events of the first film, and so he tries to get him back. And what I thought of Coming to America was I enjoyed the movie. I did. I didn't love it, and I'm not saying, oh man, I'm so glad they made a sequel to the original Coming to America. I'm not even somebody that grew up on the original Coming to America. In fact, I saw it pretty recently for my 100 movies I've never seen before. And I had a blast with that first movie. I thought it was hilarious. It was Eddie Murphy at the heights of his comedicness. This film, I was hesitant because, well, one, it's not rated R. Shockingly, I was not missing the R rating. Sure, I probably would have got a little more laughs if it was rated R, and if it did go a little harder and edgier. But they had enough jokes in there to where I did laugh a few times. I did chuckle enough, and I was amused all the way through. So, shockingly, the rating wasn't the big problem. It's more so because, for one, when you do a comedy sequel to a film that's decades old, it hardly ever works. And two, Eddie Murphy, I can't think of the last great Eddie Murphy film that I've seen. His last few movies, maybe it's because he's older and more mature, he just doesn't hit those same levels. Or if he does do comedy, it's just really embarrassing and corny. This, though, I like the way he portrayed Akeem. Clearly older, clearly more mature, but still out of his elements. Still being pushed around. Still not being exactly sure what kind of prince or, I guess, king he's supposed to be. And so I like that. I like that it wasn't Eddie Murphy trying to carry the comedy all the way through. Of course, he has his moments where he's playing different characters in makeup. That was a staple from the first film. I guess they had to do that. How the hell are those old guys from the barbershop still alive? They were old as hell in the first movie. Never mind, over 30 years later, they're still around and kicking? Okay, sure, why not? It was nice to see Arsenio Hall back again, because you don't really see Arsenio Hall out there as much, and I thought he fit in his role that he was previously perfectly, and he too had some moments of doing other characters in makeup, and I kind of thought that's where he shined the most, when he was under makeup and just sort of going wild and doing whatever the hell he was doing. It was refreshing to see some of the other actors from the original film back, like James Earl Jones, Louis Anderson, hell, even his wife, Eddie Murphy's wife from the first movie, the girl that he marries at the end, Lisa, she's back for this film, and I kind of like the subplot of him having 3 daughters and them wanting to, at least the oldest daughter, wanting to become the queen, and that was supposed to be this big thing in the country. But I think what I enjoyed the most, surprisingly, who I enjoyed the most, was Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes kind of stole the show, or at least stole every scene that he was in. He was so into it. He was so animated. It felt like he's been gone for a while, and he was very proud and happy to be back in front center in front of the camera. I guess that is kind of the case. But he was great. He was the ruler of the other country who was sort of bullying Eddie Murphy into trying to let his family marry into theirs so that he can collect a lot of their wealth and whatnot. That seemed like a plot that made sense as far as being the big conflict. The subplot of Eddie Murphy's son, who comes from New York and comes over and doesn't really want to be the prince, and it was fine. I think I appreciated how different this plot was, how I thought it would just be the same sort of gags of them going to New York and sort of the whole movie meeting similar faces, new faces, but no, we spent a lot of time in their home country, and I appreciated that. I did. Leslie Jones plays the mother, the woman that slept with Eddie Murphy back in the 80s. I don't know how they pulled that scene off of making Eddie Murphy look young and interacting with Leslie Jones. I'm still trying to figure that out. Like, was it just CGI? And if it was, wow. Clearly, whatever budget this movie had, all of it went towards that scene. Also, Leslie Jones usually annoys me. I usually find her grating, her yelling and stuff, but I thought she was fine here. She actually made me laugh a couple times. Same thing with Tracy Morgan. I usually find him really irritating, but here he was fine. It's kind of shocking how much I was ready to either have issues or not like something, but look, I'm not saying that it's amazing. I'm not saying it's great. I'm not saying that it's a perfect sequel. It's just a fine sequel. It's a serviceable sequel. It's a sequel that I'm glad I eventually got to, and I enjoyed myself. If I had to rate it, I would give it a decent Netflix and chill.
Oh, yeah.
So guys, let me know in the comments below if you too have seen Coming to America 2. What do you think of it? Did you like it? Did you enjoy it? Or did you think, no, they should not have made a sequel to an all-time classic? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!